Jai Shri Krishna. And I have been reading from the Srimad Bhagavad by Swami Tejomayanandji. And we have come to the part where the Dattatreya is saying how he learned from 24 different gurus. And those have been recorded and sent and put up on YouTube. You're welcome to go back there and watch and listen. But earlier we learnt what he learnt from earth and air, what he learned from space, water and fire, and in the last one, what he learned from the sun and from the moon. And continuing, I would like to tell you now, I'm reading from page 919 from the Srimad Bhagavad by Swami Tejomayanandji. And let's see what Dattatreya learned from a pigeon. Now the pigeon, I'm read, the Avadhuta then revealed what he learned from the pigeon. Through a poignant story, he said in a jungle, a pigeon couple had been living together for many years. With each passing year, their attachment to each other grew. When they had children, they became extremely attached to them. They then became so preoccupied with raising and caring for them that other than their happy family, they were oblivious to everything else. One day, when both parents had left the nest in search of food, a tribal hunter spread a net and captured the baby pigeons. When the parents returned, they saw their babies fluttering in the net. When she saw her children in this condition, the mother's heart was filled with pain and she started crying. She became so grief-stricken and inconsolable that she jumped into the net. On seeing this, the father also began crying and lamenting. He said, "My wife and children are all trapped. How will I stay in this home without them? I am ruined. What is my life without my wife? How can I live without her?" It is because of sentiments like these that many people do not want to take sannyasa. They feel a life of renunciation is such a dry, fruitless life without children and family. People respect and prostrate before sannyasis, but they also have many doubts about whether sannyasis experience any joy in life. Sometimes they ask, "Swamiji, are you truly happy?" This is, of course, probably Swami Tejomayanandji speaking. And sometimes they ask, "Swamiji, are you truly happy? Or after taking sannyas, did you ever regret the decision and wonder what could have been? Do you get bored?" All these questions suggest the same thing. Renunciation cannot possibly lead to happiness. Such questions arise because we know only worldly joys and worldly living. We do not know our true nature. We do not have faith in what the Guru and the scriptures teach us about the self, about absolute bliss. Then the Avadhuta said, Avadhuta means Dattatreya. The crying and lamenting father pigeon flung himself into the net. "See, you cannot free everyone from bondage. What is the purpose of putting yourself in the same condition?" In the end, what did the tribal hunter do? He happily took home all his captured prey. It is good to love, and householders should love their relatives. Without love, the life of a householder has neither sweetness nor fulfillment. Yet to have foolish attachment as the pigeon parents did, and to grieve with an insistence that we cannot live without someone is definitely not right. There is no healthy gain from this kind of attachment. In such cases, we can save neither our family members nor ourselves from death. We are not even able to take care of ourselves properly. So how can we help others? Man becomes bound due to attachments. So the Avadhuta said, such kind of foolish possessiveness and attachment should not be practiced. That is what I learned from the two pigeons. The Gita describes the man of wisdom in similar words. He does not have excessive affection towards anyone. The man of wisdom goes to all places, loves all, and engages appropriately according to the situation and people involved. He does everything without ever becoming attached to anything or anyone. So this is what Dattatreya learned, and it is a good thing, I guess, to learn from everyone and everything. Even when we read good books, I sometimes feel that if we could learn from their situation, of course, I'm guilty too, but if we could learn from people's experiences and even from the novels, good novels that we read, or even some very good serials that we watch on TV, if we could learn and practice them, then I guess that maybe one life would be enough to get liberated. But this is the whole thing. There were people, when I started doing Gita classes, they used to tell the girls who used to come to me, you go to Gita classes and you're behaving like this. So, and then they used to call me sometimes. And I used to say, look, I'm just quoting the scriptures. I'm telling them. But if everyone was to learn from the wisdom of what they are taught and learned, wouldn't this world be a wonderful place? So I guess sometimes the Lord has no other option but to send us difficulties so that we learn it on our own. Because hearing it, we are not learning. Anyway, to continue, let's also talk about what Dattatreya learned from the python. So from the python, let me read. Dattatreya Maharaj then told King Yadu what he learned from the python. A python lies somewhere and waits for its food to come. It swallows its prey whole, whether it is a goat or even a larger animal. And if food does not come its way, the python just sits and waits. It does not put forth effort to go and find food. Dattatreya ji is an avdhuta, so he learned from the python to be content with whatever you get. He said, I also learned that there is no need to unnecessarily exert oneself and run from here to there. Eat whatever fate brings at a given time. And if there is no food, just wait. Sit and wait. Do not let the mind get aggravated. To sit and wait is what is meant by the Hindi saying, Hoga Ram to dega khatiye para, which essentially means the Lord will give me what I need, even if I do nothing. Most people do not like such statements. According to them, such thinking is not right. They ask, just sit around and do nothing? Yes, but listen to one thing with close attention. To sit back with firm conviction and do nothing, without even a semblance of agitation, without asking for anything, even if nothing comes your way, is extremely difficult. It is definitely true that you will always get what you are meant to get. If you do not move, everything will come to you wherever you are, but not if you continue to entertain desires in your mind all the while. A boy once came to me and asked, I'm sure this is Tejo Menanji speaking. A boy once came to me and asked, Swamiji, I have heard that people who went in search of God left all their worldly services behind. They never thought about where they would get food or drink. They just kept going, and somehow from somewhere they would always get something to eat and drink. Is this true? I replied, it is absolutely true. He then asked, so if I go in search of God, will I get food? I said no. When he asked why, I said because you are going in search of food, not God. You are already worried about whether or not you will get food and drink if you leave. If someone sits back without any worries, believing that what is to come will come, and if it does not come, it is fine. If someone does not become disturbed or frustrated throughout, he will see the incredible results. Param Puja Swami Tapovanji Maharaj, the illustrious guru of His Holiness Swami Chinmayananji, would wander all over the Himalayas alone and barefoot. Sometimes there would not be any food available. For him, if there was food, it was fine. And if there was no food, it was fine. Once on the path to Mount Kailash, 2 dacoits saw him and went to rob him. Swamiji did not have anything for them to rob, and the dacoits soon realized this. When Swamiji asked them for directions and told them he was very hungry, the dagoids gave him something to eat. See, even things like this happen. What Dattatreya ji learned from the python was appropriately applicable for him as an Avadhuta. Avadhuta sannyasi is, I guess, a wanderer who truly gives up everything. So, what should a householder learn? A householder needs money, right? The householder on whom the entire family depends should understand, be like a python. It means fulfilling all his duties and remain content with whatever is obtained through righteous means. The same teaching is given in the second verse of Bhaja Govindam, in which he say, Yalabhase nija karmopatam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. I guess it means the same thing, that be content with whatever is obtained through religious means. I have learned Sanskrit, but I don't know it that well. And it is customary to give a bhajan with the Srimad Bhagavad. So this is something that I had recorded long ago for myself, and it basically says, "Bhagwan meri naiya tum par laga dena, ab tak to nibhaya hai, aage bhi nibha dena." It means that, "Oh Lord, take my boat across, whether across the ocean of samsara or across the ocean of attachments and desires, but take my boat across. You have so far held my hand, continue to hold my hand." And then the second verse says, Dal bal ke saath maya aakar jo ghere mujhko. So if Maya comes attacking me all the time from all corners, then tum dekhte na rehna, jhat aake bacha dena. You come quickly and save me. And then I think he sings, Tum dev main pujari. I think this is the third verse. Tum dev main pujari, tum isht main upasak. He says, you are my devta and I am your devotee, and you are my isht and I am your upasak. And gar baat sach hai to sach karke dikha dena. And he says, I believe the devotees, I believe it is true. So, make it true that I surrender to your will. And then I think the second verse is, Sambhav hai jhanjhaton mein main tujhko bhool jaun. It says, possible that when I'm surrounded by jhanjhats, by problems of life, I may forget you. Par nath kahin tum bhi mujhko na bhula dena. But oh Lord, don't ever forget me. And Bhagavan meri naiya tum par laga dena. So here it is.
मेरी नैया तुम पार लगा देना, अब तक तो निभाया है, आगे भी निभा देना। भगवान मेरी नैया तुम पार लगा देना। संभव है झंझटों में मैं तुझको भूल जाऊं, संभव है झंझटों में मैं तुझको भूल जाऊं, पर नाथ कहीं तुम भी मुझको न भुला देना, पर नाथ कहीं तुम भी मुझको न भुला देना। भगवान मेरी नैया तुम पार लगा देना। दल बल के साथ माया कर जो घेरे मुझको, दल बल के साथ माया कर जो घेरे मुझको, तुम देखते ना रहना, झट आके बचा देना। भगवान मेरी नैया तुम पार लगा देना। तुम देव मैं पुजारी, तुम इष्ट मैं उपासक। तुम देव मैं पुजारी, तुम इष्ट मैं उपासक। घर बात सच है तो सच करके दिखा देना। भगवान मेरी नैया तुम पार लगा देना। अब तक तो निभाया है, आगे भी निभा देना। भगवान मेरी नैया तुम पार लगा देना।